I'm Ricky, and this is how I drive. Prepare to be impressed. Whoa. Not that many people are aware of this, but people like myself can, in fact, operate a motor vehicle. This surprises a lot of people because a lot of people, even including myself before I was injured, thought that people like myself couldn't drive. We thought we were always just regulated to being a passenger princess, but that is in fact not the case. As we go through this process, just know that this setup is particular to me, myself. While it may work for some, it may not work for everyone. There's a multitude of ways to be able to adapt a car. This one in particular just happens to work for me, myself. So if you want to adapt a car to yourself, just know that this is not the only way to do it. What's this I drive? Well, it's a 2021 Chrysler Pacifica Touring L. So what this beast is here is a modified chassis with a lowered floor and a powered ramp, which all helps me get in, get out, and get going. Any van could be modified to drive. I just chose this one because it's sexy, sleek, tells people who's in charge. This is my pony here. You choose your pony. All right, before I get in my car, there's a couple things I need to get first. Check one. I gotta open my ramp. I do that here, keep my keys right on my belt. Nice and secure. Don't want that falling away from me, especially when you don't have fingers. And then I use the good old mouth hands that I call my teeth. Bring it to my mouth. There we go. Ramp open. Are you impressed yet? So the next thing I have to do, and this is the only part where I need human intervention. Other than that, I can get in and out, drive everything through the van all on my own. So what that is I need my chest strap put on. What this does is just basically keeps me from flopping around all over the place, keeps me secure, keeps me from running over any children and falling over while driving. So safety first. Last thing I gotta do before I get in the van is I raise my chair like so. This will be a little bit more clear later on, but it helps me get in a good driving position so that way, again, I'm not flopping around everywhere, a good line of sight, and I'm set up for success. Since me transferring into a normal chair isn't an option, I have what's called an easy lock pin on the bottom of my chair where I will drive into a lock and I can stay in my chair and it will hold me in place nice and tight, like a big hug from your grandma. Now that I'm locked in, let's kind of take a look and see what it takes for me to even start the van up. I use what's called the AVIT 2.0 system. The brains of the operation are this computer down here, and that's what's going to send all the data, all the signals, and everything to all the equipment here. What I do next, I wake up the whole system, and the brain connects here to the display. And the display lets me control everything. I can change my gears with the touch of a button, drive, reverse, park. I can start, stop. I can turn my lights on and off if I need to. I can hit my wipers, climate control, windows, turn signals, all things that while I'm not in motion and I need access to are right here. Start the car. Back. After everything's turned on, it has to go through its boot up sequence. And that includes aligning the steering wheel to make sure everything's all set and ready to go, braking and gassing, and turning the steering wheel from left to right. And this just ensures that everything is good to go and I'm not going to die on the road.
So now what we have here are the hand controls. These are my lifelines. This is how I control literally everything. We have here gas and brake. Brake, pull, gas, forward. And here we have my steering wheel. I wedge my hand in there like that. Super easy. And this is a 2-to-1 steering ratio. And the reason that is because it makes it less sensitive. If it were a 1-to-1 ratio, you know what, let me just show you exactly what that means. So for every 2 turns of this is 1 turn of the steering wheel. And the reason it is that is because if it were a 1-to-1 ratio, it'd be far too sensitive and then I'd be likely to careen off the road and again, kill someone. So on my left here, not only can I control gas and brake, but if I twist my wrist and you hear that beep, that's called a digitone. Digitone is a series of audio beeps that allows me to program basic functions like turn signal, horn, wipers, lights, cruise control, window, and anything which you would want to program. I have 1 beep is left turn, 2 beeps is right turn, 3 beeps is horn, and so on. And depending on your situation, you can customize it to be as however you want. The only thing it won't do is make you a sandwich. So the reason I raised my chair earlier is because if you see my steering wheel like this, if my chair were lower, that means this whole driving control would have to be lower, and the likelihood of it hitting that center console would interrupt my entire driving experience, again, leading to death. If you think about it, most people, maybe yourself, have 4 limbs, 10 digits to control the entire vehicle, right? So you can hit the turn signal, wipers, all such and such. I have to do all of that with these 2 noodly limbs right here. So I only have 2 limbs to control everything that a regular person has 4 limbs and 10 digits to control.
You wanna go for a drive? Hop on, saddle up, partner.
What blows my mind about driving, all right? I'm a quadriplegic. My hands don't work. A lot of my body doesn't work, which is fine, you know, it's part of the environment, I guess, you know. But so I can't pick up a pen. I can't pick up a sandwich. I can hardly open up a door. I can't get myself into bed. But somehow I can drive this 2-ton killing machine and just drive and maybe kill someone. Not on purpose, accidentally, but I'm basically driving a huge weapon. And that kind of, when you put it in that kind of perspective, it blows my mind a little bit. You know what I mean? It's just, it doesn't make sense, right? I was watching a podcast with Adam Savage one time, you know, the Mythbuster, and he was talking about how he's training his young ones to start driving. And he said something that resonated with me for the longest time, was that what makes a good driver? And I'll give you a second to think about that. What makes a good driver? And his answer is, a good driver is the most predictable person on the road. And I'm inclined to agree with that, because if you're predictable, that means everyone around you has enough time to respond to any situation. So, you know, if I put my turn signal on, as I do right now, and give people enough time to account for that, then that makes everything safer. If you're unpredictable and say you cut someone off, then how am I supposed to account for that? That makes things much less safe. But I don't know, that's just something that's resonated for me for the longest time, and I'm a big fan of Adam Savage. So, hey Adam Savage, if you're watching this, which I know you are, because you're such a big fan of him, thanks.
for the hotel. So now that we're parked, I want to bestow upon you a tidbit of information of how to not be a dick. So one thing, does that want to say? This isn't in the script. We're going off books. Oh God. Oh, you know what? Just don't be a dick and don't park in handicap spots. Don't park in the don't park in the slash lines either, because I need that. I'm going to show you why. The reason why you don't park in the slash lines is because people like me need this area for van access. We need our ramp to get out. If you're a motorcycle that parks here, you're a dick. If you're a car that parks here, you're a dick. If you're anyone that stands here, you're a dick. Read the sign. Don't be a dick. The big thing is what driving does is allows me freedom. It allows me to go out into the environment like this without the help of you and such. So that's why I like driving. I get to be out in the world again. So one downside about the equipment I use for driving, the pin, as you just saw. So, do you hear that? Depending on the hill, can scrape and get stuck on things because it hangs down so low and makes a horrible screech like you just stomped on a toddler's skull. Yeah. Overall, that's the day in the life of a quad who can drive. Somewhat, I guess. I love you. I hope you love me. If you don't, that's okay. I'll just go cry. Welcome back. I don't know what I'm doing. I give up. Welcome to Ricky's Driving Adventures, where I go pick up homeless people and throw them in the lake. Ha 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 ha.